Hi, Dr. Nelson here from CounselingTransforms.com, where we help our clients achieve their best self, better relationships, and a more balanced life. Today's topic is taming your narcissist. Narcissistic personality disorder is a difficult personality to deal with. So one of the things that we need to understand is people that have a narcissistic personality disorder, they tend to be smart, they tend to be charming, they can kind of dazzle people sometimes with their social skills, and so people don't always see the other side of the narcissist. One of the things that we need to be careful when dealing with a narcissist is to trigger their temper. Best practices for treating a narcissist, one of the main things is anger management. If you've dealt with a narcissist or your loved one is a narcissist, you notice that anytime that we contradict them or go against them or something like that, they tend to explode. And sometimes they can be really, really mean, and sometimes they're really, really good at being really, really mean. So when we're trying to tame a narcissist, a couple things. First, I need to make sure that I have very fair, very firm, clearly communicated boundaries that are enforced every single time to be effective. There's a whole video on boundaries, so I would encourage you to look that up. But when it comes to dealing with a narcissist and asserting some boundaries, it's super duper duper important that we don't assert a boundary out of anger ourselves, because when we come at someone that has a narcissistic personality disorder, usually it escalates them rather dramatically. So we need to stay calm, we need to be kind in our approach, and yet at the same time be firm and fair and consistent. That's the challenge. So one of the other things is to seek social support. Social support is also super important when dealing with personality disordered loved ones, especially narcissistic personality disorder, because it's not only difficult to deal with their anger, but they have a really unique way of confusing other people. People with narcissistic personality disorder tend to be very influential. It's something about how they present and the intensity. It comes across as confidence and that they are very grounded in whatever it is that they're saying, and that can cause confusion to other people. And so sometimes other well-meaning loved ones or friends or family don't see the negative side of that narcissist, and so they will actually side with that person, the narcissist, and say, you know what, I don't understand why you're making such a big deal. They're wonderful, they're great, they're charming and all of this, and they are. They're not seeing that other side that sometimes we see. So if you have a loved one or somebody you care about that has narcissistic personality disorder, it's super important that you get social support yourself from people that understand what you're going through and will affirm in your experience and not negate it, and that you can talk to. I can't overestimate the importance of social support when it comes to dealing with loved ones that have a personality disorder, especially narcissistic personality disorder, because they can present differently to other people, so other people don't see what's really going on behind the scenes like we do. And so I need to have key people in my life that can speak truth to me, that can be encouraging and supportive and help me to stay grounded in reality and what's really going on, because narcissists can spin things in such a way that it can cause self-doubt, confusion, and they can also present to other people in such a way that the other people don't see what we see, and that can make us doubt ourselves. So what we need to do is have a strong social support system, whether that's a 12-step kind of group, like let's say Codependence Anonymous, or just a strong friend network that you develop and work on. The other thing is I need to practice the flip reality test. There's a whole video on that, but basically what I do is I ask myself, what would I think or tell a friend in this exact same circumstance? Then I tell myself that. That's a way to avoid overreacting or underreacting or letting a narcissist confuse me, because they really have a knack of coming on with such strong opinions or even anger that can cause someone that's really grounded in the truth to doubt themselves. So social support is super important. Boundaries are super important, but for a boundary to be a boundary, it has to be clearly communicated in advance, ideally from a neutral emotional stance, and then it needs to be enforced every single time, along with an appropriate consequence if necessary to be effective. There's another video on asserting boundaries, but what I want you to practice is stay calm, learn to be assertive but not aggressive, because if we come across out of anger to set that boundary, it's going to escalate that narcissist, and then that can get really ugly really fast. So we have to be calm and we have to present ourselves in a neutral way rather than aggression. Aggression is going to make things worse, not better. That can be a real challenge, because sometimes if I'm not used to setting boundaries or limits, I almost have to be angry to be able to say no that first time, or to be able to say, you know what, here's what I need. And that doesn't go over well with someone that has narcissistic personality disorder, because as you know, anytime that we challenge them or contradict them, it tends to blow up, and it can really cause them to react in anger. And that's not a good experience to have. So, bottom line is, tell yourself what you would tell a friend in the exact same circumstance. Show some self-compassion for yourself. Ground yourself in that truth. Then make sure that you have a strong social support network of people that will ground you and encourage you, and also speak the truth to you. So if you get confused, they'll kind of reground you in the truth, and present those boundaries along with appropriate consequences from a neutral emotional stance. Be fair, be firm, be consistent, but don't do that out of anger, because that's going to make things worse and not better. And also, another thing that you can do is seek professional help from someone like me or one of my peers, because chances are dealing with a narcissist is going to take a toll on you, and having that kind of support can be really important when we're having to work through issues, when we're dealing with someone that we care about that has a narcissistic personality disorder. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.